Hi everyone! It is Thursday and we have another Clues by Sam today. It is a tricky one. I'm not gonna get tricked. I know. This is gonna be a perfect one. My redemption and my restart of a streak. We don't have perfect streaks here in Clues by Sam, but and I don't even know if we can get that stat, but I'm gonna suggest Sam to do that feature for us. Not that it matters, but we have so much stuff that's just for stats, right? But is one more thing. I bet they can do that. And if you're new here and you don't know what Clues by Sam is, it is a daily puzzle that grows in difficulty along the week. And within it, there are 20 people. Each of them is either a criminal or an innocent. And we gotta figure out what they are using clues. They themselves give us the clues and the criminals don't lie, so there's no worry there. Pure logic, no guessing, and I'm going to be explaining the logic as I solve, and you can trust me, I'm not going to get any wrong people today. Let's start. We start with Olga telling us that both criminals above Vera are connected. So Vera has Olga above her and another three people, Andre, Floyd, and Kieran. And of those three people, there has to be two criminals. So if those two have to be connected, Floyd has to be one of them, and the other one is either Andre or Kieran, so we tag them with the same color to indicate they are opposites. Now, Floyd says there are exactly two innocents in column A, and the second one is either Kieran or Andre. The first one is Olga, so Vera is not an innocent, and I was double checking that we're talking about columns here, because I've been known for making that mistake before. Vera now says there are exactly three innocents in the corner. So Vera is in the corner and she's not an innocent. There's another three corners. So that means that the other three corners have to have or three innocents. That's a tongue twister for all the Portuguese speakers out there. Andre says that all innocents in column B are connected, so, but we don't know how many are there yet, so we keep that clue there. Asha says that row 3 is the only row with two criminals. So we either have two more here in row 5 or just none. I was going to say that Vera is the only one. Zach says that only one of the two criminals neighboring Ivan is Gary's neighbor. So Ivan and Gary share Bunty, Chad, and Luigi, and Martin as neighbors, so 4 neighbors. And one of those 4 is going to be a criminal. If Gary has to have, if Ivan has to have 4 criminals. Okay, so one of the two criminals neighboring Ivan. So Ivan has a total 2. And one of them is shared with Gary. So it's either Bunty or Chad or Luigi or Martin. There has to be a second criminal neighboring. This is tricky. Only one of the two criminals neighboring Ivan. So Gary doesn't have any totals. Well, let's say that Luigi here is a criminal. That would make Bunty an innocent because of Ivan and Gary's thing that they share. And that would make Nicole a criminal? No, we know that row 3 is the only row with 2 criminals. So that would make Nicole and Martin innocents. Trying to make sense of this, but it's hard. I'm thinking, can Martin be a criminal? I mean, I think so. Oh, have I read Kieran School before? There are at least 2 instances right of Vera. So there has to be 3 because I just said before that row 5 has to have either no more criminals or 2 more. And if there has to be 2 instances here, if there were only 2, then row 5 would end up with 2 criminals, which we know from Asha can't happen. So we actually need both Wanda and Zola to be connected. And that makes it so that Luigi couldn't be a criminal because then he would separate the innocents in column B. And we know that all instants in column B are connected from under it. So Luigi has to be an instant as well. So that's good. We still don't know about Bunty and Gary though. It could be that both of them are criminals. We know that there has to be one criminal here neighboring Ivan, because row 3 has 2 criminals. So no, we can't have Gary and Bunty both be criminals, since there's only 2 criminals neighboring Ivan total. So we can't have Gary be a criminal either, because if he is, that forces Bunty to be an innocent, and now we have innocents who are not connected in column B. So Gary has to be an innocent too. That's good. Where do I go now? Oh, Ruth has to be an innocent because there's so many innocents here in column B. Now it doesn't matter if they are connected or not. Wanda says there's an odd number of criminals neighboring Tina. So Tina has only 1 criminal so far here in row 3, shared with Ivan. And she only has 1 more person left, Umar. And Umar couldn't be a criminal, otherwise Tina would end up with an even number, 2. So Umar is an innocent. And I had to double check that the clue is saying criminals. Umar says that only one of the 5 criminals on the edges is Chad's neighbor. So Chad has 3 people on the edges neighboring him, Bunty, Esha, and Jason. If one of them is gonna be a criminal, either Jason or Bunty, and we have to have 5 criminals on the edges. Ivan has his 2 here. 2 pairs of criminals, or 2 pairs of opposites in which there are 2 criminals. So Chad becomes an innocent. And we have to make Nicole a criminal now, otherwise we don't get our total 5 criminals, right? Because we have Floyd, Kieran, and Vera who are on the edge. Bunty and Jason are gonna give us only 1 more criminal on the edge, that's 4, so a 5th has to be Nicole. And that makes Martin an innocent. Now we don't need Umar's school. We don't need Zach's school anymore, because we have our people. Martin says there are as many innocent builders as there are innocent doctors, so we double click to see all of the doctors and all of the builders. There's 2 builders total and 2 doctors, and all of them have to be innocents. Huh? I have no more clues. Except for row 3 is the only row with 2 criminals. So let's say that Bunty is an innocent. That would make Jason a criminal, which would make Ivan a criminal. I'm sure I just missed something that I shouldn't. And if I make Bunty an innocent, that will make Jason a criminal, which would make Ivan a criminal. Oh, sorry. Bunty a criminal makes Jason an innocent, which makes Ivan an innocent. So what's the clue that I dismissed that I shouldn't have? Hmm? There's an odd number of criminals neighboring Tina. I solved that. 5 criminals on the edges are solved. It's Chad's neighbor. Yeah, but it doesn't tell the total criminals neighboring Chad. Only the criminals on the edge. 2 criminals neighboring Ivan. Gary's neighbor. Oh yeah, it has to be Bunty who is a criminal here, because otherwise Gary and Ivan wouldn't share a criminal. So Bunty is a criminal, which makes Jason an innocent and also makes Ivan an innocent, so that row 2 doesn't end up with 2 criminals. Okay. Good on me for going back and double checking what clue I dismissed unjustly. And that's a good strategy. Like, instead of trying to figure out by guessing, go back to the clues you have let go and see if you missed something that could have been used and you forgot. Or sometimes you might have dismissed a clue, like I often do. I click to dismiss a clue without even reading it because I didn't see it was a clue, and then you don't get the information you should. So it's really important. Didn't get a good time there, but I got a perfect, and that makes me really happy. Finally, I'm free. I'm free of the curse. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know if you did better than me today, because I'm sure you did on the other days. I'll see you tomorrow for more Clues by Sam. Bye bye.